Welcome back, everybody, to the Exit Row. My name is Adama Anderson, here with Paige Larson.
Hey, guys.
Justin Moore.
Hey.
Hey, guys. This is episode 14.
That's crazy.
And we're back.
I bet some
people are wondering.
Brand new year. Still same old crew, though.
Everyone can settle down. We are back.
Yes.
We are back.
Brand new crew, brand new content.
Brand new crew. Actually, same crew. Not brand new at all.
Yeah,
A brand new year, brand new
year.
content. That's what I meant to say.
Brand new crew. Actually, not at all.
No.
Same weirdness. New year.
Yes. So, I just wanted to say I hope all our listeners, they had a happy new year and they had happy holidays. And,
Absolutely.
It'll be the best year ever. Just keep thinking that.
There we go. We also want to say happy birthday, Justin. Your birthday was
Yay!
a few days
Happy
ago.
birthday!
So we just wanted to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Yep, throw it out there. Here's a birthday cake. Here's some candles.
Here's some confetti.
Appreciate it. Keep it moving.
Okay, so let's talk about 2023 in aviation for us. Now, all those who have Flighty, which I guess those who don't, or those who have Android didn't, I guess Flighty isn't on
R.I.P.
Android.
Yeah.
No, it's fine though.
So
I get enough flighty from Paige, to be quite honest.
just wanted to go over some of our statistics. Justin, you said you had how many flights last year?
It's roughly 22. I know I've got 22 documented, but I know there's probably at least a handful that I know I missed a couple, but 22 for sure.
22, nice. Paige?
17.
17. And then my Flighty showed 30, but you got to add 2 more for the Redway experience. So I had 32 flights, looking at 39,583 miles. So just add a few more for Austin, and that would have been over 40,000 miles, minus all the E4B flights. But, you know.
How many do you think you would have on that? Like if you just had to guess?
E4B probably, I'm going to say probably 30 or 40.
Jeez.
So I flew from January to June. I'd say maybe about 20 to 30. Maybe quite a few air refuelings. So again, I
just 20 to 30
so much
flights
fun.
on the E4B. Just 20 to 30 on the E4B.
Yeah.
No big deal or anything.
Hey, yeah. And I'm looking like I guess I flew the 175 quite a lot. So it was interesting. I love seeing the Flighty statistics.
Oh, me
for
too.
everybody.
Because Flight Radar does technically do the same thing. That's how I log mine. But yeah, Flighty just has a different
I do
presentation.
the same thing.
Yeah, and it looks prettier, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. You guys love your Flighty. Yep.
Oh, I do though.
Yeah, no sponsor. But anyways.
They could.
Yeah, I really liked how Flighty even showed like the same aircraft I flew it quite a few times.
Although if you're a true av geek, you should know that without Flighty. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Like,
I'm just saying.
Oh,
you know
wow.
every tail number, like.
Oh, see, I do. See, that's how I've document
Oh.
the actual plane that you're on. Yeah.
Wow.
But Flighty's doing the same thing.
Yeah, Flighty's doing
Yeah.
it for me, yeah.
Right.
So I really like that, like knowing, like, hey, I've been on this aircraft before. Come on.
I'm just giving you crap. I'm just saying. Never mind. Fuck it.
Oh, wow. Oh, we got to beep that out. I got to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
It hasn't happened yet.
Me too.
I like that statistics. I like seeing that. And
Oh, I'm a huge analytics guy. I love that.
loved-
Me too.
So recently, I just flew, and finding out that my A330 that I took back from Amsterdam was only like 6 weeks old.
Oh,
That was pretty cool.
Was that the one that you've already been on, or is that the other A330? Because you said you've flown on one of these before, right?
Yeah,
Was
I
that the
mean,
one
going
to or from?
both were the 330 Neo.
Right, but you'd flown on one of them before, I thought.
That might have been the first one out.
Right, because that's what you were mentioning. You'd flown on one of those airframes before.
Yes. Now on the way back though, I took a 6-week-old aircraft.
that's so cute.
So
Little
it
newborn
had
plane.
new diaper smell. Yes.
Oh.
I'll admit, new diaper smells new, and I like new plane smell. I don't know if is new diaper smell a good thing.
No.
No.
Well, yeah. So why are we associating a new plane with new diaper smell?
Well, because it was baby. That's all.
It's a baby plane.
Yeah.
But yes, it definitely smelled newer, I think.
Like you could tell it was a new plane.
Yes. I mean, it was still clean. So yeah, I mean, that was pretty cool.
No, that is awesome. Yeah, if you get something
Yeah.
that's actually like, single digit weeks old, that's awesome.
Right?
Like factory fresh.
Yeah, that's a first. That would be a first for me. I've never gotten that before.
I've only had one it was under 2 months. I've never had something like, so I guess, that was about 8 weeks. It said 2 months old, so I guess I didn't think about it till now. But yeah, an A321neo. But yeah, it is cool when you got something when you can like look at the flight history on Flight Radar and go all the way back and like you can find the end. You know what I mean? And see
right.
it, like test flights.
I think
4
I
weeks
was
ago.
actually in 2022 on a 2-month-old Max. Now, if I remember correctly, so
I'll go back on Flighty. I'm sure you could not find that
There
out.
you
you
go.
know what? I think you're right about that.
This
So
is literally what we're talking about. This is literally what it's for.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's So I kind of like it. Now, Flighty didn't have it said my old before this the newest aircraft I was on was 7 months old, which was that Air France A220 I took. It was 7 months old, but
Ooh.
then the statistics.
That was the
got
A220
updated.
300 too, right?
Yes. So, let's talk about my flight, since I was the only one that
You talk about your
flew
flights. We can't talk
recently,
about it.
Yeah.
So you leave the house. What happens? You go to Epley.
Yep, I went to good old Epley.
You park
Yep.
the car.
Yep. And took an Embraer 175 up to Minneapolis. No issues with that. I wrote a few things down here, so I'm pulling it up. Small little aircraft, obviously, little Air Wisconsin, responsible for flying us. And I did finally get some recognition for my Delta status.
Okay, about time. I'm not too sure what you mean by that.
Just saying, I got a little card.
What do you mean recognition? Like the pilot came out and applauded you? What
No, I
happened?
wish. Jeez.
The only clapping allowed on the plane.
No, they just
It's for Adama.
She just handed me a card and she said, "Thank you for flying with us and spending so much money. Thank you." So I got a little card. Yeah.
Cool.
How nice.
Did you feel good about
Sounds
that?
terrible, right? When you say that, I just got a card. I didn't get any fanfare. Thank you.
I mean, it's better than nothing. At least they recognize you, right?
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
And it's actually handwritten. It's not like it's big companies.
Correct.
They got stamps.
Oh,
Correct.
yeah.
At least it was handwritten.
This one was handwritten, and So
Dearest Adama.
you, sir. So we get to Minneapolis, or I get to Minneapolis, and then my next flight is off to Paris, or Parigi in Italian.
Okay.
And so some of the things I took note of was when the stewardess did come by, she did thank me for telling her how I wanted my coffee. So I'm a believer in it's okay to drink the coffee, but there are people out there who do not drink the coffee on aircraft. I get it, but she thanked me because I literally said, "I want my coffee black." Because every time the stewardess come by, they ask you, okay, you say, "Hey, I want coffee." They pour the coffee, and then they ask, "Would you like sugar or cream with it?" So I just go ahead and tell them straight up, coffee, black. That
Gotcha.
way, they don't have to ask that extra question. They have to do that every time that people drink coffee, or every time that people get a soda. Like, "Hey, do you want ice with that?" So just, I made it easier. And she's like, "Thank you so much for telling me." Just makes my life easier.
Right. It's
They
the little things
appreciate
sometimes,
it, right?
yeah.
It's just little things. So, that was interesting. I also told you both that, I took economy, which we will talk
So
about.
brave. You were so brave.
It was
Right.
so brave. I
Got a
don't.
little wild and crazy.
Yeah. So let's talk about, first off, being back there in economy, going out to Paris. There was some guy FaceTiming for like 30 minutes. And I'm shocked people didn't say anything, but everybody doesn't want to cause a scene.
Like we're talking cruising altitude. He was
Yeah,
FaceTiming. That's
cruising
actually pretty
altitude.
impressive.
Oh, wow.
I mean, sometimes that's not even possible. It's literally not possible. Sometimes,
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, he was having a conversation, and I was getting quite annoyed.
Was this the guy next to you?
No, it was. I was at the window. He was probably in the middle,
You mean like the row ahead of you?
row behind me, and in the middle.
How did you know he was FaceTiming if he's behind you?
I could hear, and I could see him actually FaceTiming.
Wow.
Yeah, really dumb. Finally, the stewardess came by, told him, "Sir, you're not allowed to do this. Please,
Clearly
close."
not. You're clearly not on airplane mode. Not that
No.
I'm not saying I do or don't, but he's clearly not.
Well, he's
No.
on the Wi-Fi,
Yeah, but
which is
that still
annoying.
doesn't feel like it should connect, though. I don't know. That doesn't make
Right?
sense.
The connection would be horrible.
You would think.
He could be on the Wi-Fi, but there's no way he was on airplane mode if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to know. Anyways, they were told, "Hey, go ahead and close it up." And then, like 15 minutes later, the guy next to me reclined his seat and broke somebody's laptop.
The guy
like
next
this-
to you reclined, or the guy next to you got reclined on?
The guy next to me reclined his seat back.
Reclined his seat. Okay.
Yes.
I feel like this is a throwback to another episode.
I was, I kind of was like expecting this to happen, and it did. And because I saw the guy on his laptop, and I had went to go use the latrine, and
The what?
The latrine,
Where'd you go?
the bathroom.
Okay.
Okay.
It's too fancy for Justin.
The latrine. Cool. You use the facilities. Got it.
I used.
You're trying
the
to
voice.
make up for sitting in economy by saying these words that are fancy. Right?
Overcompensate.
So I come back and I see the guy is on his laptop, and I'm like, "Oh, if this guy reclines, it's gonna be bad." Sure enough, the guy is reclining, and the guy who has a laptop is pushing back, like, "Bro, stop! Do not." The guy does it anyways, breaks the dude's laptop.
Breaks.
Yes, the laptop breaks.
like screen
It's-
What are we
snapped in
talking about?
half.
The screen
Or,
cracked? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, the screen cracks. You're unable to use it.
oof.
He's unable to use it.
You're not exaggerating. Like, this literally happened.
This literally happened.
Wow. How far does it recline?
Well, I mean, it
Like,
was
so did he recline and
so
like
it
it
was-
slammed shut is what happened?
So it was Comfort Plus. So it's just a little upgraded economy.
Right.
So you get a little bit further back recline, I think. But this guy literally had his laptop up against a seat
Right.
instead of, a little bit closer to
Forward,
him.
yeah.
And so the guy is severely ticked off.
He's irate.
And I don't blame
He's
him.
livid.
I'd be upset too. And
Oh, yeah.
he goes up to the purser, so the main flight attendant, and tries to get Delta to, like, "Hey, like, I need you guys to pay for this because you did something." And they turned him around, I guess, and said, "Go back to his seat." The guy comes back to his seat, but he doesn't sit in it. He actually stands in the aisle next to this guy, looking at him.
The guy that reclined on him.
The guy that got reclined on, yes. And he just stares him down. I'm talking a good 3 to 5 minutes. I'm getting
Oh,
worried.
God. You're
that
about to have a
this guy-
Spirit
Sounds
Airlines
exciting.
moment.
Yeah, about to go Spirit.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to get Spirit in here.
I'm getting so worried that this guy is about to beat this guy, and that it's
God.
also going to mean that I'm going to get involved somehow because he's going to hit me or whatever. So I get off my headphones and I pull up like Solitaire on my phone just so I can listen to see what's going to happen. And the guy that did recline, let's call him Joe. Joe, he reclined. He's like, "What? What do you want?" And he's like, "I apologized. It's a mistake. It's, this happens." And the guy's like, "What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?" I'm like, "Oh God, here we go.
Boy.
This is going to be bad." And he goes back and forth, and the guy's like, "I'm not going to do anything. It's just a mistake. It's what happens." Like, and the guy got intimidated. He got scared. So then he's like, "Are you going to go back to your seat or not? Because if not, I'm just going to go ahead and get the flight attendant here to get you out of the aisle." Sure enough, the guy wasn't going to move. So he does hit the flight call, attendant bell, whatever you call it. You know what I'm trying to say.
What's your fancy word for that one, Adama?
He calls for the flight attendant, and he, 2 flight attendants come down and say, "What's the problem, sir? How can we help you?" He's like, "This man, he's intimidating me. He won't sit down."
That's what he said. Intimidating.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So then the flight attendants tell him he must sit down. So he goes and sits down, and then
Yeah, because you literally can't stand in the aisle.
you can't.
Yeah, no.
Exactly. And so he goes and he's like, "Delta, you got to pay for this, blah, 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 blah. This guy, what are you guys going to do about this? You guys need to cover, for the laptop being broken." And the flight attendants and the main purser is like, "Listen, this is not his fault. He has the ability to recline his seat. And you shouldn't have had your laptop
Yeah, I
up
was just gonna say,
against
right.
the seat. So it's
Yeah.
your fault." And that did not.
So that's how they
go
worded
well.
it. They were like, "Actually, sir, you probably don't want to hear this right now, but this is your fault."
Let's just cause more of a stir.
And
sure
there's
that went
more
over
to the
well.
story that I can't go into the podcast, and I'll just discuss it with you guys later. Anyways, it was really bad, and it just did not end well. It got so bad that the guy demanded that the pilot come out to
Yeah, 'cause
fix
they're
the
not busy.
situation.
Right.
And so they're like, "Sir, that's not going to happen. Are you really sure you want this to happen? Because we're going to divert this aircraft."
That would never happen. First off, they would never get the pilots for him. Like,
No.
come on.
And what is the pilot's
Absolutely
going to
not.
do that anybody else can't? Like, you know?
Yeah, the pilot can't do anything.
Right,
He's like,
they
"Oh,
can't
we're
do
gonna
anything.
Not
pay
to
for
mention,
your
like, they're not
aircraft,
busy,
or
sir.
your-"
Like, yeah, they've got free time on their hands. Come on.
They're flying the aircraft. So annoying. And yeah, they were talking about, like, if you're bringing the pilot out for this, we are diverting the aircraft because we're not, like, this is garbage. It's not going to happen. Sit down. Do not intimidate the guy. Let us get back to where we need to go. He's got other things to worry about, and we're going to land
We all
in
do.
Paris.
That's what she said. So, yeah.
And then, like, 30 minutes later, the purser comes back again and says, "Hey, we found a seat for you somewhere else. We're going to move you. You okay with that?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's fine." So, and I haven't talked to the guy before the plane started, and he was actually going out to see his father who was dying in Turkey, in Istanbul.
Wow.
So I was just kind of like, man, this guy's got a lot on his mind. But sucks that the whole situation went down.
Right.
And it just, like, yeah, he had the right to recline his seat, and unfortunately the situation happened. I tend to tell people ahead of time, like, "Hey, I am going to recline my seat. I don't care what
Right.
you think. So please move whatever you have there." Like, and just, I don't want to break anything. I don't want to cause a problem. So that was an interesting part to my Minneapolis flight. So
Yeah, a little
Minneapolis
bit.
to Paris.
I can't say I've ever had anything like that before. Not that intense, anyways. I've had arguments, but not like that.
Yeah, it was crazy. So never experienced it, and it was funny because I was thinking, like, 3-4 hours prior to that, I'm like, man, what happens if somebody breaks a laptop of somebody? And
Careful
Sure
what
enough,
you
I
wish
got
for.
that.
That's weird
'cause-
that you thought about that.
it was so
Right.
weird. The things you think about, though.
Right. And then as you were passing by, like, oh, man, I hope he doesn't, recline and break that laptop, and then crunch.
Sure enough. Oh, it was crazy. Yeah, so we landed in Paris, and I did ask the pilot, "Hey, do you have any of the pilot or the Delta trading cards?" Sure enough, he handed me one. I was very thankful for it. He did, though, look at me like, "These are kind of for kids." And I'm like, "Well, I still collect them." So
You're like, "Shut up. Do you have them or not?"
Right.
so he got me one. When we landed in Paris like an hour early, so they were not ready for Delta. So, like, there was no gate for us. So we actually landed and parked out on the apron, and we had to deplane via stairs
Nice.
on a 330 Neo.
Nice.
It
Weird
was
for a thick boy.
Something
Loving that.
different.
Feeling that.
That was cool.
That was really cool. I
Yeah.
wasn't there. I mean, that is cool. Yeah.
And so we landed, and it was right next to some other aircraft. I don't remember what it was, but yeah, it was pretty cool.
Y'all just get on buses then, or what happened?
Yeah, you get on buses, and I'm not used to that. It was just different for me.
That's
So
a lot of people to put on buses, man.
Oh, yeah.
A330.
definitely, quite a few rounds.
So did you get out the front or the back? Which wing did you get out?
The front.
Or was everyone out the front, or did they have people coming out the back?
Everybody goes out the front.
That's a lot of people that get off air stairs, man.
Oh yeah.
Right.
So we do that. I spend 5 hours in Paris before I take an A220. So I thought it was going to be the 318, but it ended up being the A220.
The 300 too, the larger
Yes.
variant.
Yes.
Air France, right? Air France.
Air France.
That is a sharp looking aircraft. I mean,
So-
like,
It is.
I love that aircraft.
I love the
Me too.
A220s in general, but
like-
Air France, real nice.
and Airbuses. I'm not a big fan of Airbuses, but when it comes to the A220, I really love that aircraft.
Those Air France ones are sharp.
It looks
Yeah.
beautiful. And so I get on the aircraft, and I didn't know that the windows were so large. Oh my goodness.
Like noticeably.
Yes,
Noticeably.
incredibly. And I was like so amazed the whole time. A lot of the windows remained open the whole time. So we were flying up in the air, just enjoying the view of the Alps. God, it was awesome. And probably one of the memorable experiences I've had flying an aircraft, just because of just the beauty. And yeah, it was really cool. So Air France, A220, loved it. Landed in Lanate. And
And that was your first time on the A220, correct?
yes,
Nice. Yeah.
So-
Only been on once. Yeah.
what an experience. And I think in the previous podcast, I had said I was taking the 318, which would have been my first time, but I had lied because I looked back at my flighty. Thank you, flighty. And found out I
Right.
took it back in like, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 years ago. So, but the A220, that was my first time on the A220 and really liked it. Unfortunately, they did not have the window in the bathroom.
Really?
Not on the Air
No
France
window in the
one.
bathroom.
They don't.
What?
Air France did not go with that option.
Air France, come on. What option did you
What
go
are you
for?
even doing?
You went for the non-window option in the bathroom? What?
Yeah.
Do you hate
Must
fun?
have saved a couple bucks.
So, and I loved hearing the whale sound.
It is awesome, yeah. Because you can just identify an A220 like
Yes.
that.
Right.
You know?
So it was really cool. And being in the Air France lounge, I stopped in there, and I could hear all the whales just going off. So it was really
Oh my
cool.
gosh.
Yeah,
Those A220s are distinct.
it's
Right.
It's cool. And you were the one that told me about the whale. And
remember when we were in LA,
It was
maybe?
in Kansas or Kansas
Either
City?
Kansas City or LA. I remember telling you guys
you
about
told me
that.
Yeah,
about
I
the whale.
remember
And
that in LA.
I was like, ever since then, I'm like, yeah, that's a whale. Whale.
It really is, though. I mean, there's such signature noises, too. A220 is so unique. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And it's, like what you said, and I just can't, like, it's so aesthetically pleasing. It really is.
Oh yeah. And I think Air Canada, I think that one looks nice too.
Yes.
Yeah, honestly, you really can't go wrong in the A220. I'm trying to think of a livery that I don't like, but
I think
that's not
Breeze
possible.
is my
That's
favorite
not possible.
for that.
Which one?
Breeze.
Breeze.
Breeze looks good. I'm telling you, everyone looks good in the A220. Everyone.
Yeah.
Yep. And on that note, we will be right back.
All right, we are back. Appreciate you coming back with us. So, Adama, we
Yep.
heard about the first half of the trip, and from where I'm standing right now, you did come back.
I did.
So, how about that trip back? How'd it go?
That
Yeah.
trip back. So I upgraded out of economy.
I mean, knowing what happened your last time, like this is
Right.
So you
A little bit of
were
improvement.
wait, economy. Are you talking about the A330 flight, or which flight is this?
I'm talking about the whole flight back.
You were just like
All the
not
flights
no more
back.
economy.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I went the business route, European business for
Sounds
KLM.
fancy. Sounds fancy.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. So a few podcasts ago, I told you about how Air France, their first class business, they skip the seats. Like,
Yep. Yeah, that
so
was
you
weird.
have
Oh,
window,
yeah.
Still weird about that. But yeah.
window and aisle, but it's still like economy seats. So KLM does the same thing, and I assume due to the simple fact that KLM and Air France are one group together, it is literally Air France KLM or KLM Air France.
It's even on most of the planes. I want to say like that's
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
the side.
So I assume they do the same thing. So also in the previous podcast, I told you, hey, I'm super excited about taking that KLM
Yes, you were.
from Milano Linate up
Like this is
to
like the highlight of the trip.
yes,
Anticipated highlight of the trip.
Oh God, I was so happy until
so
about 2 days prior.
Okay. Okay.
When I look at the KLM website, because I'm like super excited about this, I want that house. I want that Delph house. Like, I want it.
I want that house.
And it says this only goes to our business class members who are in the on intercontinental flights. And I went, that's not me.
What a ripoff, dude.
I was sad.
That is a bummer. I mean, you were really looking forward to this. Like,
I've wanted them so bad.
I mean, I was looking forward to getting that. You know, like
I was looking forward to even seeing it in person. Like
you were so stoked about that house.
It was.
So, like, to clear it up for people, like, this could be a good PSA right now. So to clear it up, so you got to be flying international business class.
Yeah, international business class.
Now, wasn't there like a rumor you were saying, or I don't know if it was a rumor, but that you could get them in select lounges possibly? Is that not true?
I thought so.
I think if you don't get it on the flight,
right,
then you can go get it in there. But
you still probably got to be flying international business class. Like
correct.
If no one can just go to the lounge and grab the house. Right?
Yeah. So, unfortunately,
well,
I
hey,
didn't
that's
get
an aviation
that.
goal for 2024. There you go.
There you go.
know how to get the house now. You know how to get it.
I do know how to get it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But yeah, so KLM, business class. Okay, so I already told you about the seats. And
So how do you leave Milan? Let's back up. How did you leave Milan? Was that
Milan? I left in 737.
Okay,
800. Also, speaking of Milan, it's still crazy seeing Alitalia jets.
Oh, right. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
yes.
crazy.
It's good to hear they're still around too. Yeah.
3 years later,
Yeah.
and they still haven't painted all the Alitalia jets over to ITA.
Maybe they're not. I mean, maybe they're not planning to. I don't know the official word. Maybe they're not.
Maybe they're now retro.
I'd be happy if they're okay. If that's
That
what
would
they're
be
doing.
cool,
Yeah.
actually.
And so it's so crazy seeing it 2-3 years later down the road. And again, if you I read the story and I didn't send it to you too, but like ITA was Alitalia was only sold for €1. It was sold for €1 because it literally was like 560 million euro in debt.
Jeez.
So it was bought for €1.
Wow,
And
it's a steal.
It is what
Really, though?
they're still losing a lot of money, which is why Lufthansa is probably going to buy a stake. That's trying to get approved right now, but Lufthansa is going to own stake in the company. So, anyways, again, crazy to see Alitalia jets still in Milan. Leave Milan, head out to Amsterdam. And the first class experience business, usually with KLM, I've been known to get sandwiches, some sort of sandwich in the morning as something to eat. It's a 2-hour flight, so they give you something. Unlike in America where they give you little, snack packs or, Biscoff. But KLM always gives you something just like Air France. So this meal was loaded with carbs, like breads,
bread.
rolls. Then they asked if I wanted more bread. I'm like, no, please. I don't need any more bread. They gave me a cinnamon roll.
Jeez.
More bread.
They gave me some nuts and fruit. So that was kind of nice to have, but it was like dried fruit. It wasn't like real fruit.
Well, it's still real fruit, but yeah.
Yes, technically, right.
They gave me this fake fruit as plastic.
Disregard. Eat your fruits. But yeah, so they gave me a lot for the flight. But I did get my coffee and a little Dutch coffee cup. So that was kind of nice. So,
All right.
yeah. Was it worth the experience? It was only like $30-40 more, and I had extra space, and so it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Landed in Amsterdam. I love that airport. This time it was different trying to get through customs because some people go through customs differently. Like you can immediately go into customs to get into outside the Schengen area. But for my flight, I had to go like 5 minutes walking, maybe it was 10 minutes walking to actually get through where I needed to go for my flight.
Jeez.
And which was fine. But I get through there and I get into my KLM lounge, which is lounge number 52 at the Amsterdam airport. And I get there and what am I trying to say? It was great. Like it was raining all day, but being able to be in that that lounge, I get to go out and see like what's out. You know, what am I trying to say? All the planes that are out there. The windows are great, and I see the Delta Team USA aircraft.
Nice.
And I was really excited to see that. Saw it, get the pushback, and then leave. And I was like, darn! I thought that was going to be my aircraft. I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be my aircraft because of Flighty and Flight Radar. But I was kind of like hoping maybe that would be my flight.
That would be awesome because
Last
that's
minute
900, I believe. Yeah, that's a 900.
Yeah. And so, and that was right next to the KLM 100 aircraft. So I was like, oh, we got two specials right here. So Amsterdam, love that airport. I will always love that airport. And I got you guys the little KLM old orange Pride livery.
The original.
The model.
The original. The better
the original.
one.
Yeah.
So we all have
Preferred
it
one
now.
in my opinion. Yeah. But yes, thank you. By the way.
We have matching planes now.
You guys are welcome. Yeah. So let's see. What did
So Amsterdam, you went. Then you came back to Minneapolis. Is that the flight, or
Yeah.
did you have another stop?
Yeah, I did that. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I said. Oh yeah, I've never taken a bus at Amsterdam, so that was interesting to land in Amsterdam and actually having to get on a bus to where I needed to go. So I wasn't used to that.
Do you know why you took a bus this time? Like why you normally didn't? You get early or something, or do you know why you took a bus?
Probably could have been that way. I'm not sure because we showed up to a gate and we actually got into the help me out here.
I don't know.
The bridge.
Okay, the bridge.
So we had a bridge, but then they cut it off that we couldn't go into the airport, and we had to get onto a bus. So that was weird.
But hey, busing on tarmacs is awesome.
Oh yeah, because you get to see all the aircraft
That's awesome,
up close. And you know what's really great is when you do it in Frankfurt or Munich, and you're next to all the 747s.
Oh, I bet.
I've bussed at LAX several times coming from the Eagle's Nest.
Ooh.
And yeah, A380, 747, same thing. Yeah.
It's beautiful.
I've never had that experience, so I have nothing to say.
That's why the key is if you fly into LAX, fly into the American Eagle terminal. You got to take a bus. Have to. That's the only way.
All right, there you go.
Okay, I'll remember that.
The more you know with
The exit row.
So then, yes, I get on my 2-month or less than 2-month old A330
BB
900
plane.
Neo, and we make our way out to Minneapolis. So what did I say here? Honestly, it was a great flight. I had no issues.
No fights, no laptops
no
breaking.
fights, no,
Okay.
or
No
not that I
Spirit
know of,
Airline
because
moments.
That's boring.
I did take Delta One Suite.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was no
again,
lamb shoulder on this one either.
There was no lamb shoulder.
Yeah, for real. I mean, what are we doing? Why even take it?
Right? If there's no shoulder, why go? Like,
However, I will say that this flight, taking the Delta One Suite, more food options when it came to actually being served some appetizers and stuff beforehand. So that was kind of nice. And then I actually got my meal. And then after that, they came by and did an ice cream sundae. Like, that was pretty cool up in the air. And then I actually got a full-blown lunch, or second lunch. The
didn't you just have
pre-arrival lunch, like everybody in the back usually for Delta, they get some sort of like pizza thing, which is not really good.
Pizza thing. Nice.
Pizza sandwich or something. I don't know. They usually get that, but
I try it.
up in the Delta One, you pay for it. I got a full hamburger, so it was kind of nice. Arrived in Minneapolis. It's a great airport. It really is. if you've never flown through it or had that go through that experience, like they do so much, and there's just so much to do in that airport. Unfortunately, for Christmas, they got rid of all the Snoopies, so I was a little upset.
What's that mean exactly for people that may not know?
Snoopy, Charlie Brown, like
Snoopy
We understand.
statues.
Okay, we understand
Like,
who Snoopy
so
is. What do you mean by
Charles
removing
and
Snoopy?
Schultz is from the Minneapolis, Minnesota area, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is why they had. It's for me. I call it the Snoopy Airport because I see Snoopies all over the airport, and they weren't there. Snoopy
Wow,
was gone.
lame.
So I don't know
honestly.
if it's for Christmas and it's temporarily gone. I don't know, but all the Snoopies were gone.
Lame.
Minneapolis Airport, really cool. I got to, when I was transitioning from one terminal to the other, they had a dog for people to pet.
You can just pet the dog?
You could just pet the dog.
That's awesome.
And it was literally there for people to, calm them down and whatnot. And I was like, I like this. This is great. So,
Right?
and it was a golden too. So obviously you want to pet that dog. So
yeah,
happy.
those are really good dogs.
But yeah, really cool. I saw a lot of wardrobe malfunctions. I
Oh
sent
my
them to
gosh,
you.
that was
Paige.
heaven to me, seeing all those.
What was
Wow.
it? The one Delta with the United.
That was a good one. That
nose
was good.
cone?
Yes. Oh
So-
my
That was a good
gosh. That plane was going through a crisis, like an identity crisis.
Was it
There
Air
was only, like-
Wisconsin or Republic?
There's only like
Airlines?
literally a couple I've seen where it's like literally the airlines are different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
very rare.
it's usually SkyWest because they all operate the same planes. So
Yeah, they did not care.
no, they don't.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
Yeah, because SkyWest oversees United, Delta, and American E-Jets, I believe. So, I mean, it makes sense why they would exchange parts between different aircraft. But yeah, they don't care.
Yeah, I just feel like they're like cheating on whoever they're working with.
I loved it. Yeah, it was great.
That was
Not
amazing.
as much as Paige did.
I definitely screamed when I saw that
Oh, she
text
did.
come through.
Yeah.
You could have sent her any wardrobe malfunction. She would have screamed, by the way, just
This
for
is
clarification.
true. This is true. And there was a lot of bracelets, too.
There were a lot of bracelets.
Yeah.
So yeah, leaving out of Minneapolis was great. It was sunny.
Unfortunately, you're coming back to Omaha, though.
Exactly, which it had snowed the day before, 2 days prior. There was no snow in Minneapolis or in the surrounding area. Get up above the clouds, then we start making our descent into Omaha, and we get below the clouds, and I just see snow, and I go,
Yuck.
like, because Milan was warm, and then I come back here and I go, oh.
Was it warm in Milan? Like, what do you mean warm? Like,
I mean-
60s, 70s?
In Fahrenheit, yes, it was.
Oh, so it was
above
nice over there.
50,
I
55,
didn't think about
60.
that. I meant to ask you that, yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. And then I came back to Omaha, and it was gross.
Reality hits pretty quick when you come back to Omaha.
It does.
Right.
Back here on the exit row. Still with us? Everybody? How we doing?
Still
Adama?
here.
Doing great.
Adama, we appreciate your storytelling. Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you.
Welcome back. Stateside.
Now with all the snow around us,
Moving on.
Gross.
Paige, you
Yeah.
got these polls.
I do.
Let's talk
I got
about
some
them.
polls,
Let's
guys.
talk about them.
Page's polls, Page's polls, Page's polls.
This has become the staple now for Paige's polls, I think.
Yeah.
Only thing better than Paige's polls is the intro to Paige's polls.
Yes.
All right, so what do we got?
Yeah.
I
So,
think we had a couple this week, right?
yeah, I did. So one was a poll. So yes, two polls and a question, actually. Two of them go hand in hand. So the first poll, if you're in the window seat, how do you feel about the middle seater?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, reaching over you to take a picture out the window. Now, this I got inspiration from a video I saw where a girl was videotaping from up, and this guy was like reaching over her constantly taking a picture, and you could just tell it was uncomfortable.
Videotaping?
Recording, whatever. Stuck in the old days, whatever. But the poll was, how do you feel about that? Someone reaching over you to take a picture out the window. I don't mind, got 57%. nah, get out of here with that. Got 43%.
You do give some tough options. I mean, like, you do give very tough options. If you had to choose one of them, I mean, those are tough options.
Nah,
Right.
get away
Yeah.
with that.
I'll admit, I'm okay as long as you ask.
Yes. And so that leads into the next poll, in which that got a vote from 12 to 9. The next poll was, would you rather them ask first or don't do it at all? Ask. Was it 96? Not at all, 4%. And not at all only got 1 vote. So,
Was that Adama?
no, but it should have been.
It should have been. I will murder you.
He's out for blood if you do that. So,
Even
you're
if they
sitting
ask,
next to him.
even if they ask, you're not going to let them.
You're invading my space.
So you're going to say no,
Yeah.
and that will get weird.
Get
No,
real
you
real
can't take
quick.
a
Says the
picture.
person who just
Says
saw
the
a
guy-
visible fight on an economy flight. Is the one going to be like,
And now
nope.
he's going to cause one.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. No, I like aviation. You don't. Don't take a picture.
See, I look at from if I'm the person in the middle seat, which I usually am not because I'm smarter than that. But
Right.
if I'm the person in the middle seat,
Right.
I'm going to want to take a quick picture. So I have to look at it from that perspective. Treat those how you want to be treated.
Yes.
Nope. You just tried to grab my mic because
Yeah.
you're wrong, sir.
There's
Because I
violence
can't
going on
hear
right now, and
you.
I'm a witness.
Because you're like this. I need you like this.
Why? You can hear me the exact same way.
No, but you're going out of one ear.
You can still hear the
Dun,
same
dun,
thing, right?
dun.
Anyways,
I can't hear.
I-
But
Is this not right?
that's better.
Sorry, Dad.
you done
Anyways,
messed up
It's the
now.
Yes.
headphones. It all comes through the same way. Sorry, not that anyone needs to hear this. It all comes through the same way.
Not in my ears.
That's what I mean.
Anyways.
It's all being recorded the same.
Okay. Yeah. No, I will let somebody take a picture as long as they ask. If they don't ask, they can go eat themselves.
You
Oh
know,
yeah.
Oh, you guys don't even see. This is why I got to record
we
video.
need a video.
Anybody want a Patreon?
Yeah, so I've actually been on both sides of this. So I will say on one of my flights to Denver was beautiful, and the girl next to me took a picture, and I was like, okay, whatever. That's kind of weird because she reached over me.
Like without asking.
Yes.
I would hate that. Nope.
Yeah, it was interesting, but it was really
Yeah,
beautiful.
it's
So I
all
was like,
about
okay, whatever.
If you ask or not for me, of course, it'd be weird
Yeah.
if they don't ask.
Right. It was exceptionally beautiful, so I was like, okay, I'll let it slide. But at the same time, so I didn't fly from the time I was 5 years old to 19 years old. And that first flight, I definitely got the middle seat, unfortunately. And I did like reach over the person, and because I was just uncontained. So I will admit that at my fault that
You're
I
still
did
that way to this day. Nothing's changed.
Well, a little bit on certain things. But so yeah, I definitely
So
understand.
you're saying you were that person that did not ask, and you just went boom.
Yes, but I was so new to the whole realm of all of this stuff.
The new realm.
Yeah. But now, you know, that I know, obviously I
All
would
I'm saying
ask.
is like I just look at it from the person in the middle seat. If I wanted a picture, I would ask. So I'm gonna at least entertain the thought. You know, I'll hear
Right.
you out.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you're that middle seater and you don't ask, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a selfie with you. I'm not going to ask.
Wow.
Yeah.
Payback.
I'm not sure.
How
if
do you like
makes,
that?
I'm not sure if that makes you look like the badass or not.
Take that.
Well, guess what? We're gonna take a picture now.
Weirdo. All right. Paige, the second poll.
So this was more of a question, and it was, what are your aviation goals for 2024? We had a few responses. Michael Sharp says, hub hopping all 12 Southwest airline hubs.
Nice.
Tanner spots planes, spot at any major airports.
Get it,
Definitely
Tanner.
recommend that.
I hear any airport, just spot, man.
Just not Epley, right?
Well, you did.
Right.
You did throw the word major in there.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
that's implied.
And then Matthew Garcia cheating, responding twice. It's okay, though.
It's fine. You can respond twice all you want. I don't know why they think it's weird.
Right. It's all right. But Matt wants to fly over 110 flights. That's crazy.
Why is that?
Because from what he told me, he got to 100 flights in 2023. So got to one up that 100. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. Not even going for 101. He's going for 110.
110.
Yeah. He's shooting for the stars, literally.
Get him at.
And then Jet Set Shirts fly on an A350 and fly across the ocean.
Nice.
I think he's crossing off that A350 this weekend, by the way.
Yes.
He's flying out
yeah.
of Vegas to Minneapolis,
Vegas.
right?
Yeah. And then
Wait, but that's You said Vegas and Minneapolis, but not over the ocean.
Right, but I think I didn't know if those were two separate things. I didn't know how it was worded.
Yeah, there's an and between the A350 and fly across the ocean. So, yeah. And then Walker_Nixon, get my check ride.
Get it.
That's a good one.
Don't know who you are, but yes, absolutely, go for it.
You got this.
I think he's local.
I believe so. Yeah. Because I think he was on one of our flights, if I remember correctly, and we didn't know it.
Sure.
It was one of them back from LAX this year.
Well, if Paige doesn't know him on Instagram, then we don't definitely not know them.
Yeah. I know there was one, I believe it's him, but I know there's one of them who I posted the flight onto my story. And he's like, hey, I was on that flight too. I was like, no way.
Oh, there
Crazy.
you go.
So yeah, that wraps up Paige's polls.
So, Paige's polls. Paige's polls.
The outro.
Paige's polls. There we go. Paige is
Good
now
job, guys.
joined.
Good job.
There you go. So, do you guys have any aviation goals for 2024?
I do.
What's yours?
To fly a 757, and I plan on doing that to LAX through United. So,
Ooh. Is that going to be in September for spot LAX?
you know what? That might just be, or even maybe before that. So,
All right.
Okay. Maybe once or twice.
yes. Yeah. I'll do. Hey, I'm down for doing that twice. So, why not?
LAX, let's go. Justin.
I'm going to defer to you. I know you got a lot of goals, man, so you hit it up. Hit it up. What do you got?
Well, I only got one main goal, and it's to fly every American mainline aircraft.
Not aircraft, you're talking airlines.
Airlines,
Yes.
yep.
That would be impressive if you could do every
Right.
American mainline
Good luck.
aircraft.
So all the mainlines. So I'm trying to get Breeze, Avelo, however you say that.
However
I'd
you
say
say it.
Avelo.
Avelo.
That's just how I say it. I don't know if it's right or wrong. That's just how
I say it Avalo, but I don't know.
the big A.
Yeah. I'm going to fly Spirit next month. Good luck to me.
Congratulations.
So,
Question
What
mark.
flight?
I've never flown Spirit.
Man,
so
if you thought that Delta flight was rough, man, you better get ready.
Dude, I know.
You thought that was bad? That'd be funny if nothing happened on that flight at all. Nothing.
Right. Yeah.
That's probably how it's going to play.
Quiet and peaceful. Everyone's reading their Bibles.
God. Going to Atlanta. Yeah, maybe.
Just praying that everything's going to turn out okay.
I'm also taking JetBlue in a week. So that's
You're
going to be new for
You're
me.
both taking it, yeah.
Yeah. We're both taking JetBlue. And I've never flown them either. So I'm excited.
It's
It's
a possible goal. It's just it will take some work. Yeah.
it will
Yeah.
getting to Hawaii.
But it's but it's also attainable. It's not daunting. It's very easily doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just combine and manipulate your flights.
And that is a great goal, actually. That goal, whatever you want to call it, that's a super fun task also in a weird way like that. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
I might have to be joining you, actually, now that I think about it.
I'm excited. So I'm going to do that. And then my other goal is to try to fly the A380 because I'm going to go to Italy a few times this year. So because of that, I'm going to try to get the JFK to Milan, Malpensa, Emirates A380.
My goal then is, I guess now that I think about it, is there's aircraft that I want to fly and there's places I want to go, but just more about at least knocking out at least one or two places that I've not been that I want to be. Want to do the TWA hotel for a weekend at some point. Haven't been there. Those are just more
I haven't
my
been there
goals type
either.
things, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I just keep doing this thing where I keep going to places that I've been, even though I love those places, but I need to keep going to new places,
Right.
That's my thing too. I want to at least cross off 2 or 3 new states a year is kind of my consistent goal. So
is there an airport that you two haven't been to that you really want to go to? That you can think of?
Yeah, there's tons of
Besides
airports.
Yeah.
There's tons of airports I want to go to. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm going to get to them this year because mine are more international. I'm not going to rope myself into saying I got to get there this year. That's just my thing.
right.
For
But
me,
yeah.
it would be Anchorage.
Yeah, go
I
for it,
really
man.
want to go there.
Yes,
like what you
Anchorage
did
would
last
be
year.
amazing. Amsterdam, because I know they have that really cool spotting area. JFK for sure is another one that I would love to go to.
Why would you love to go to JFK? Just because it's JFK?
Lots of variety, the TWA
You're talking
hotel.
about spotting at JFK?
Yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. As far as hotels or spotting goes, yes, JFK. And then they have the TWA hotel, of course. So
I think the Singapore airport would be great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's tons of airports I want to go to. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not the problem.
And Dubai. I really want to go to the Dubai airport. And Dubai.
Is Singapore Airport the one that they have all like the foliage and the waterfall
Yes.
thing?
Yeah,
I
that
love
waterfall,
that.
man.
Yeah, and I think I just read like Dubai is now like the second busiest airport in the world.
Oh, wow.
So Atlanta's
Probably.
first, Dubai's the second now. Would really like to get there. All right. Well, great. Hey, Justin,
Yeah.
you figured out your first
yes.
commercial aircraft ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I did. Let's see. So, that's right. Because Paige, we kind of started this last podcast, right? We were all talking about our first times flying in general, flying first commercial aircraft. Let's see. So, you would think I would be flying out of Omaha, wouldn't you? But my first flight was actually Kansas City to Dallas and then
Psych.
backwards Dallas to Kansas City. And this was in June of 1995. Credit Randall, the bookkeeper, the master bookkeeper. Let's see. So that was an American MD-80. I feel good. Makes my heart feel good knowing my first flight was on an MD-80.
Ooh.
Right.
I actually feel pretty good about that. And then, so the flight back Dallas to Kansas City was on an American Fokker 100.
Fokker.
I
guarantee there's people out there that didn't even know American flew that. To be honest.
I think I knew, but I mean, it's so rare, you know.
I think there's only a couple
forever.
airlines now, like even in general, that are flying that. I know Qantas still flies them, and I'm sure there's a couple others, but I know Qantas for sure does fly them. But I mean, that's a rare aircraft now in general.
Right.
But so those are my first commercial flights. Are actually out of Kansas City, believe it or not.
Nice.
But yeah, how about you? Did you? I don't think we had yours yet. We had your first flight, but not commercial.
Right. So those who don't remember, my first flight was a military aircraft when I was in junior ROTC. So yeah, fun experience. But I did figure out what my first aircraft was. It was a MD-88 from Atlanta to Omaha. And that aircraft retired back in 2020. So,
Do you remember when that was? Because so my first commercial flight. What year was that? What did I say?
Mine was.
Mine was June '95. So I was 5 years old. I was so young, so just had no idea what was going on. I was probably 5-year-old me.
Mine was
So much I need to warn them about.
January 31st, 2002. So I was 2002, graduated in 2003. So yeah, I think I was 16 years old. And I remember arriving in Omaha. So funny that I live in Omaha now, because I grew up in Georgia for all of my school days, and I was coming up here for my uncle's wedding. And I remember.
So you were flying here, not living here.
Correct.
Oh, that's even weirder. That is weird.
Right,
Right?
that's crazy.
It
I see
all
why you
comes
say
full
that
circle.
now. Sorry, catching up.
And I remember we get below the clouds, and I see nothing but snow.
Oh, that sounds just like the
blizzard.
flight you literally just had back from
No, but
Minneapolis.
this one, it literally was snowing.
No, I was just saying, like, nothing's changed is what I'm saying.
Yeah, there you go. And I was afraid. I was afraid that we were going to go off the runway, and I'm like, we're really going to land in the snow? Like, I was scared. And being somebody who grew up in Georgia, we barely had snow. So for me, snow was just a scary thing. But no, aircraft can land in
You
it.
just learned to hate it like the rest of us.
Right.
It's not
Now-
scary. It just sucks.
Now, thankfully, I wasn't on that Southwest flight here. Was it 10, 15 years ago that went off the runway?
Oh, no, that was only in 2019.
Oh, that was...
Yeah, because I remember just starting my job and being at work and hearing about it. Because I could barely get to work that morning, and then all of a sudden I hear, Southwest plane slides off the runway in Omaha.
It was weird.
It was crazy. Yeah. Yeah, there's pictures of it out there somewhere.
Yeah, and it was just the aircraft. There was too much ice at the end of the runway. Yeah.
Yeah, they couldn't turn off onto the taxiway.
All right. Well, let's talk about one more thing before we close up the podcast. We have a trip coming up.
We do. And I'm so hype.
Yeah, we are. Literally. As of recording this time next week will be, I guess not quite there, but soon to be.
Yeah. So Saturday, we are all taking the inaugural, not the inaugural, the first flight.
That would be inaugural.
Yes.
I guess I'm thinking inaugural as annual. Never mind. So the first flight.
No, the first flight. And that would be inaugural. You are right.
Words are hard. It's
Go
okay.
with your heart, man. You had it
Words
right.
are words.
Yeah.
Okay, so Southwest is flying from Omaha to Fort Lauderdale.
Ooh.
Yeah, new flight for us. And we will all be on it. So we're super excited about it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
And then we're all doing like very
So-
av geek things and coming back separately.
Yeah.
So this was Justin's idea. Well, first off, I had the idea of we all taking a Silver Airlines.
You brought up the idea of flying Silver Airways. Which
Correct.
was money, by the way.
So,
Yeah.
because we all haven't been on an ATR, and it was Silver Airlines, which also has a flamingo on it. So I was like, this is kind of cool.
Right.
Oh, yeah,
But
they got great
pink
planes.
planes,
But
I love
pink
it.
planes.
Flying on an ATR, I'm like, this is dope. So I brought it up to you two, and we're like, okay, let's do that. But then Justin decided,
You know, do what I
listen,
do. Take it to the next level.
Justin's like,
Right.
why don't we all three do Silver
Let's cover some
Airways
ground here. Yeah.
on 3 different routes? So that's what we're doing. So
I remember when I brought that up. I love now that we're here today and that's actually happening.
yeah,
I know,
love
right?
it so
th-
much.
this is your idea.
It's our child, and
Yeah.
we've raised it together.
That's true.
That's a great analogy.
It
And
is.
we're going to see him next weekend, and it's going to be great.
It
I
is
see him
gonna
for the
be
very
wonderful.
first time.
Oh, man, I'm proud of him.
All right.
Or
So
possibly. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Justin, your route.
So I'll be going to Orlando, Fort Lauderdale to Orlando, just the one way, and then taking the Brightline train back.
Ooh, bright line.
You guys are doing a little more than I am. You guys get a little more complex. We'll start with Paige.
Yes.
Now we'll
Paige.
keep it basic because a lot more to come on the next
Yes.
podcast. But just tell them what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, so I'm taking Brightline down to Miami, and then Miami to the Key West, and then back
Nice.
to Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
And you're knocking out a lot of new things for you there. Like
Yes.
you're knocking out an airline, an aircraft.
Yes.
Airlines, plural. Aircraft, plural. I think even that day.
Yeah, I will be flying 2 new aircraft and 2 new airlines just in this trip alone. So,
Yeah.
Nice. So Silver down, right?
no, American ERJ, which I've never flown an ERJ.
Okay.
Ah, yes,
Crazy.
the
I
ERJ.
know. And then Silver ATR 72 on the way back.
Nice.
And Adama, where are you going?
All right, so mine's a little bit more complicated because I already had one of my flights canceled. So I'm taking Silver Airways out of Fort Lauderdale on their ATR 72 to Freeport, the Bahamas.
Ooh.
I'm making it international on this one. I'm going to be in Freeport for about 4 hours. So real quick, I will get to enjoy the beach real quick, come back. And then I am taking from Freeport to Nassau. I'm now taking Bahamas Air.
That is going to be an
72.
awesome flight.
So I
Yeah.
have 2 different 72s with 2 different airlines up to Nassau. And then Nassau, I'm taking a Bahamas Air 737 all the way over to Miami. And then I'm going to Brightline. So all 3
Join the
of us,
Brightline party.
all 3 of us are
Brightline
taking
party.
Brightlines. I'm going to
Man, you got a
Brightline
heck of a
back up
day.
to
We
Fort
all
Lauderdale.
got great days planned, and they're
We
all going
do.
to be great. And so many, there's going to be a lot of content coming from that. So be ready.
Yeah,
Right,
I think
yes,
the
I'm so
whole
excited.
episode will be just that.
Oh yeah, well it'd be weird if it wasn't. Yeah, we got so much
Right.
going on there. And then yeah, so we're all coming back separately. So I'm coming back on American, and then you guys are taking I think a JetBlue flight, right?
Yeah, we're taking JetBlue. We haven't taken JetBlue before, so we're going to JetBlue up to Atlanta and then take a 717 that Paige, you've never been on.
I've never been on that. Yeah,
Delta.
so that's actually 3 aircraft this trip that I've
Boom.
never
Just
been
keep
on.
adding to it.
Just keep adding them up.
So many planes.
So much fun.
It's gonna
so
be quite a
many
weekend.
routes.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
And so many trains.
Planes,
Trend.
literally a weekend of planes, trains, and automobiles. Got to drive to the airport. So
Yes.
planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it's pretty cool. And on that note,
Real quick, we should shout out. We don't need to go in depth into it, but we should shout out the flight crews of
oh yeah,
Japan Airlines.
totally
Listen,
meant to bring that up.
Yes.
Thank you, Justin.
I mean, we
Yeah,
can
good
obviously
thinking.
we don't have a whole lot of time for it now, so I think we should just
We can spend a few
acknowledge.
minutes,
I think we should
yeah.
just acknowledge the fact that a disaster was averted, even though there were fatalities. This could have been a lot worse, but there are some hardworking people out there that don't get acknowledged that should
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
every single day. People out there that are playing primary roles that are usually and should never be needed, but when they are, those people are there for you,
Yep.
Yep.
that are serving you your drinks, and that probably don't get the credit they deserve.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's easy to look forward or look over, but when it actually comes time for it, you know, they're really there to make things run smoothly and there to save your lives ultimately. So,
What a
Yeah.
wild scene over there. A wild scene.
Wild
Really wild.
scene. It's great to see organization of getting
Yes.
off an aircraft, and hopefully we'll see some changes in the aviation industry, especially here in America, where in the critical stages of flight, when you land or when you take off, have your windows open at all times.
yes.
I have been a fan of it, being as somebody who was in Europe, and it's great to see that you can evacuate a whole aircraft quickly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it can be done. I mean, like you said, I'm not even joking here, but that was the most calm evacuation. That was not a false alarm that I've ever seen. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, it was so
Right.
well done and just executed to a T. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and thank you. Yeah, thank you for showing the world that, yeah, the flight attendants they have so much pressure, and they got it done.
They did. Absolutely.
And also shout out to those, the people that were part of the Coast Guard. I think they're getting lost in a lot of this. They're literally heading out to help people that
Unfortunately,
have been
yeah.
affected by earthquakes. Those people. I just want to shout those people out. They were going to do good work.
Absolutely.
They were going to do good work, and unfortunately never got there.
Yeah. So
But yeah, in general, let's just cap it there. Lot can be said there, but let's
Yeah.
keep it on a good note and say that things ended.
yeah.
yeah,
And-
absolutely.
I thought we hadn't touched that. That's why I wanted to bring that up. I
Yeah,
couldn't
no.
remember if we just ran past it or
Yeah,
not.
we didn't.
No, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Like, I totally scrolled past it.
Paige's
so I was
poll
like,
gets distracting, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if
Thanks,
we did it or
Paige.
not.
It's your fault. No.
Oh, okay. So now we're going to play the blame game. I see how it is.
I'm kidding. Hey, and on that note,
Handle train.
let's go
Handle
ahead.
train.
Paige, how can we reach you?
You can reach me at Oma Spotter Page and my travel buddy Adventures with Aileron.
Buddies.
Many buddies
I'm at-
now.
Yeah. I mean, we got it. Yeah. I'm at spotting.omaha.
And I am Photography by Adama D on Instagram. You can also get us at the Exit Row Pod on Instagram.
Justin's just
laughing
speechless over here.
so we just-
Your handle is my favorite.
hey, please like, subscribe, share with your friends.
And your pets.
And
And
pets,
your
yeah,
pets.
important.
We love your pets. We've
Shout out
actually
to Henry.
done really well with listens, and it's increasing. So please continue to share us.
Yes, please
We
do.
appreciate you.
We really appreciate it.
We will see
Absolutely.
you back in 2 weeks when we talk about our adventures out to Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, wish us
Yeah,
luck.
so excited.
From us three, safe travels.
See you.
Bye.
Bye.